We are continuing to follow some breaking news of a police-involved shooting in Englewood. Gabby is live right now with the latest this morning. Good morning, Gabby.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, Brian, we are on 58th Street, just west of the Dan Ryan Expressway. This is where most of the activity is right now. Now, we have some new information from Chicago Police, a spokesperson with them, that says 2 officers are in the hospital with minor injuries. The spokesperson says the officers were not struck by gunfire. He says they may have been struck by a vehicle. 2 offenders are in custody. 1 offender is injured and is at St. Bernard. Now, CFD said there are 3 locations connected to this incident. The locations are at 70th Street in Yale, and another scene at 75th Street ramp to the Dan Ryan Expressway, and of course here at 58th and Shields. Now, we told you this morning, COPA released that investigators are responding to an officer-involved shooting here at the 5800 block of South Shields, which is down the street from us. It's blocked by police tape. We spoke to some shaken up neighbors this morning. One dad doesn't really know how he's going to explain this to his little girl.
I'm going to have to go up to my baby's school to check on her periodically because, I don't got to be back at work till 11. But I know I'm going to have to go check on her. And then after school, it's going to be a whole situation, too.
Now, that young man, he lives just down the block with his family. Back of his house is facing the alleyway where a lot of police are kind of gathered, as you can see here over my shoulder. He said that his family heard gunshots around 4:50 this morning, and they haven't heard much from police just yet. As well as us, we're still waiting for an official press conference where that Chicago Police Department official can speak to us on camera with the full range of information. But again, 2 officers are in the hospital with minor injuries. They have 2 people in custody right now. One of them may be injured and is at St. Bernard. We'll keep you updated on this.
So as Brandon Johnson went on MSNBC yesterday, and I'm going to talk about this on the Millionaire Morning Show, shootings continue to happen inside of neighborhoods and communities. Criminals are not deterred by anything, including Chicago police. Multiple different killings over the weekend, more shootings occurring during the week, not just with large gatherings. Meanwhile, you got J.B. Pritzker saying, don't come to our city, but send us money. And Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, the incompetent, might I add, mayor of Chicago, book smart, definitely don't know how to run a city, is telling officials and is protesting against Trump, sending in more police officers, more alphabet boys, ATF, FBI, and the National Guard to deter crime so that he continue to save lives. Make it make sense for me, please, ladies. Make it make sense for me, please, gentlemen. Why are we denying the community resources to keep themselves safe? You just heard the gentleman pop up on the screen and he said, listen, I got to go and explain this to my daughter. I got to go and explain this to her. I got to continuously check on her. I got to go back and forth and maybe even miss a little bit of work or miss some sleep prior to going to work because I got to, continue to check on her and give her some insight on why police officers, and it's probably going to be maybe not, because, they try to downplay the idea that there is a lot of crime that's happening in Chicago. He said, I'm going to have to basically explain this to her. And nobody should have to explain to their young kids, their young daughter, why there's a shooting up the street, because my daughter would be absolutely horrified at the idea that police and tape is roping off the area and no inner city child. And I'm just going to say this, we're so used to it within the inner cities of operating within chaos and having leadership that is okay with us operating in chaos, that they don't care about anybody coming in. The only thing that they want to do is continue to maintain power by keeping you under duress and trying to limit your exposure to resources that ultimately could help save your life or help save somebody else's life, because it's often at times not the people that are committing the crimes that lose their life. It's usually the victims. The victims are also police officers. The victims are also a stray bullet just going into somebody's window. I've done multiple different stories about that all this year, all last year in Chicago. And the people are crying out. They are crying out for help. And for him to be so arrogant to think that they shouldn't get the resources that is afforded to them from the federal government, any help that would come from a higher power would be welcome to me to make sure that everything goes well within my community. And I don't know why anybody would be that arrogant to continue to do so. But let me tell you what arrogance gets you. Let me share this other story with you that just recently dropped.
From using his voice to change laws, not only here in the city of Chicago, but the state, to 17-year-old Isaiah Burden being shot multiple times here in this park in West Ridge in what police say was a robbery at the hands of another teenager.
But today I'm standing here to break that silence.
A young voice for change almost silenced in an armed robbery.
He shot him, and then as my son was on the ground, he took the backpack off his body, took his phone away.
It happened last month while the 17-year-old Mather High School student and youth leader, Isaiah Burden, was waiting for a friend at a park near Granville and Hoyne in West Ridge. His father speaking with me over the phone about the near-deadly encounter.
Somebody just came up behind him, blocked him off with a scooter, pulled out a gun, said, "Give me your stuff." He was like, "I'm not giving nothing to you." And the kid kept saying, "Oh, I'm broke. I need that backpack. I need that phone."
Isaiah then tried to run away toward kids playing soccer nearby.
From what he told me, he said, "I'm thinking, oh, if he won't shoot me because I'm in this park surrounded by people and kids."
He was shot 3 times. Chicago police announcing today the arrest of another 17-year-old boy now charged with attempted murder and armed robbery.
We deserve to heal, we deserve to be heard, and we deserve real support.
The attack coming just months after Isaiah gave a speech in Springfield in May, pushing for legislation to prohibit AI therapy in Illinois.
We need real people who care for us.
His efforts also backing the youth-led initiative in Chicago this summer against a now failed city curfew ordinance.
Because Isaiah was in the hospital, they still went to City Hall and they still fought that bill.
I want to see my son grow up. I want to see him live a long life.
Isaiah remains at Northwestern Hospital recovering from multiple surgeries, but his family tells me they're hoping he's out of the hospital soon to continue his.
And his actual perpetrator, the person that committed the crime against him, is another 17-year-old. This is how you end up on a villain arc. This is how you start to get bitter towards what happens in a culture, and you start to really open up your eyes and you realize that it's not about speeches, it's not about marches, it's not about community support, it's not about any of that. All of those is just terms. All of those is just phrases that they use to make you feel good, to make you think that you're doing something and you're making a change. But let me tell you something. Criminals, they don't care about your marches. They're not looking at your march and saying, you know what, I think I'm not going to do criminal things. I think I'm not interested in robbing people and shooting them 3 times and possibly taking a life and letting them end up in the hospital. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you're a community activist. I don't care if you're running towards children in order to save your life and you think that that's going to stop it. Everybody getting this work and everybody getting these bullets. The only thing that stops criminals is A, you have to be proactive from the very beginning and having strong households and strong, 2-parent households. That's number one. And then B, once they gone bad, you got to get them off the street and you got to hold them accountable. That's the only 2 solutions. And for the mayor to sit here and act like everything is cool, again, crime should not be normal in the United States of America. Nobody should be under duress. And we should be holding these people accountable, not only the parents, because I do a good enough job myself of doing all of the documentation of these horrible parents and these single-parent households, but also the people that are supposed to be getting paid by you, the taxpayers, to make sure that you're safe. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.